Hello, and welcome back to Slow and Easy English. I'm so glad you're joining us today. Whether you're listening while cooking dinner, taking a quiet moment before bed, or perhaps sitting on a bus somewhere in the world, welcome. This is your safe space to learn, to breathe, and to grow at your own pace.
And I'm here too. I'm the one who makes the mistakes, so you don't have to feel alone when you make yours. Honestly, I'm very good at making mistakes. Some might say it's my special talent.
And that's exactly why we love having you here, James. You keep it real.
Someone has to. So, what are we talking about today?
Today's episode is designed for intermediate English learners, around B1 to B2 level. As always, we speak slowly and clearly, we explain new vocabulary, and we repeat key ideas so they really stick with you.
And don't forget, everything we say today is written down in our free transcript on the website. We also have a worksheet with reflection questions and a really helpful self-compassion journal template that goes perfectly with today's topic.
And what is today's topic? It's something we all need to hear again and again. No one's perfect. Not you, not me, not anyone. And today we're going to explore why accepting this truth can actually set you free.
Okay, Mika, I have to be honest. This topic is attacking me personally
Oh? How so?
because I am obsessed with being perfect. Like, obsessed. When I make a mistake in English, even a tiny one, I think about it for hours, days sometimes. Last week, I said, I have 25 years instead of I am 25 years old, and I literally couldn't sleep that night.
James, that sounds exhausting.
It is. It really is. And the worst part? I know it's ridiculous. I know everyone makes mistakes, but somehow when I make a mistake, it feels like the end of the world.
And that's exactly why we need to talk about this today, because you're not alone. So many learners, so many people in general carry this heavy weight of perfectionism, and it doesn't help us, it hurts us.
But how do we stop? How do we just accept being imperfect? It sounds so simple when you say it, but actually doing it feels impossible.
It's not simple at all, but it is possible, and we're going to break it down together, step by step. Are you ready?
I think so. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Okay, so here's what I don't understand. Everyone says nobody's perfect, right? It's like the most common phrase in the world. But if everyone knows this, why do we still try so hard to be perfect? Why does it still hurt so much when we fail?
That's such an important question, and it leads us to our first big concept. I call this the perfection paradox.
The perfection paradox? What does that mean?
A paradox is when two opposite things seem to be true at the same time, and here's the paradox of perfection. We all know that perfection is impossible, but we still believe that we should achieve it anyway.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. I know I can't be perfect, but I still expect myself to be perfect. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes emotional sense. You see, our brains are trying to protect us. They think that if we're perfect, we'll be safe. People will like us. We won't be rejected or laughed at.
So my brain is trying to help me by torturing me?
In a way, yes. Your brain has good intentions, but bad methods. It's like a friend who wants to help you clean your house, but instead sets everything on fire.
That's a terrible friend.
Exactly. And perfectionism is a terrible helper. It promises to protect you, but instead it makes you afraid to try, afraid to speak, afraid to make mistakes.
But Mika, Doesn't wanting to be good at something help us improve? Like, if I didn't care about being perfect, wouldn't I just be lazy and never get better?
Ah, this is where we need to understand an important difference. There's a difference between pursuing excellence and demanding perfection.
What's the difference?
Pursuing excellence means I want to improve, I'll work hard and learn from my mistakes. Demanding perfection means I must never make mistakes. If I make a mistake, I'm a failure.
So, excellence is about growth and perfection is about fear.
Beautifully said, James. Excellence says, I'm on a journey. Perfection says, I must already be at the destination, or I'm worthless.
Wow. I've definitely been demanding perfection, not pursuing excellence.
Most of us have, at some point, and recognizing this is the first step. In our worksheet, there's an exercise called Excellence versus Perfection Reflection that helps you identify which mindset you're using in different areas of your life.
Okay, Mika, I understand the difference now, but here's my problem. I make a mistake. I don't just think, oops, that was wrong. I think, I'm stupid. I'm embarrassing. Everyone is judging me. The mistake becomes about who I am as a person.
Yes, this is so common and so painful. What you're describing is called the spotlight effect.
The spotlight effect?
The spotlight effect is when we believe that everyone is watching us and noticing our mistakes. We feel like we're standing on a stage under a bright spotlight, and the whole audience sees every little thing we do wrong.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels. Like everyone is staring at me, waiting for me to mess up.
But here's the truth, James. The spotlight isn't real. It's an illusion.
What do you mean?
Think about it this way. When you're in a conversation with someone and they make a small grammar mistake, do you remember it hours later?
Thinking, no, usually I don't even notice.
Exactly. And if you do notice, do you think about it all day? Do you tell all your friends about it? Do you lose respect for that person?
Laughing. No, of course not. That would be crazy.
So why do you think other people do that when you make a mistake?
Long pause. Oh, that's a really good point.
Everyone is busy worrying about their own mistakes. They're standing under their own imaginary spotlights. They don't have time to analyze yours.
So while I'm lying awake thinking about saying, I have 25 years, the other person probably forgot about it in 5 seconds?
Almost certainly. They were probably thinking about their own dinner plans or their own problems, or nothing at all. Your mistake was a tiny moment in their day, but in your mind it became a huge drama.
Sighing. I've been creating so much unnecessary suffering for myself.
We all do, but now you know about the spotlight, and when you feel it shining on you, you can remind yourself, the spotlight isn't real. No one is watching as closely as I think.
That's actually really comforting.
And in our self-compassion journal template, there's a prompt that asks, what would a kind stranger think about this mistake? It helps you see your errors from a more realistic, outside perspective.
All right, Mika, I have another question. And this one is hard for me to ask. Hesitant.
Take your time. This is a safe space.
Sometimes I think maybe I focus on being perfect because deep down I don't believe I'm good enough as I am. Like if I'm not perfect, then what value do I have? Does that sound crazy?
It doesn't sound crazy at all, James. It sounds very human, and it leads us to something I call the worthiness myth.
The worthiness myth.
The worthiness myth is the false belief that our value as people depends on our performance, that we must earn love, earn respect, earn the right to exist by being perfect, successful, or impressive.
But isn't that how the world works? People who achieve more are more valued, right?
Are they? Think about the people you love most in your life. Do you love them because they're perfect? Because they never make mistakes?
Thinking, no, I love them because, I don't know, because they're them, because of how they make me feel, because of who they are inside.
Exactly. You don't love your friends because they have perfect grammar or perfect jobs or perfect lives. You love them because they're real, because they're kind, because they show up.
So, my worth isn't based on my English level?
Your worth isn't based on anything you do. You were born worthy. You are worthy right now, today, with all your mistakes and imperfections. You don't have to earn it.
Emotional. Mika, I don't know if I've ever really believed that.
Most people don't. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need to be more, do more, achieve more to be valuable. But it's a lie. A very popular lie, but still a lie.
But what about self-improvement? Isn't it good to want to be better?
Of course. But here's the key difference. Healthy self-improvement says, I'm already worthy and I want to grow. Unhealthy perfectionism says, I'll only be worthy when I'm perfect.
One comes from a place of enough, and the other comes from a place of never enough.
Yes, imagine you're a tree. Healthy growth is like a tree reaching toward the sun, growing taller, stronger, more beautiful, because that's what trees do. Unhealthy perfectionism is like a tree thinking, I must become a perfect tree or I deserve to be cut down.
I've been that second tree for a long time.
Many of us have, but you can change the story. You can decide, I'm already a good tree, and I'm still growing.
I'm already a good tree. I like that. Okay, Mika, here's something else that confuses me. Sometimes people who seem really confident and successful are actually extreme perfectionists inside. Like, you would never guess they're struggling. How does that work?
What you're describing is something I call the perfectionism mask.
The perfectionism mask.
Many perfectionists learn to hide their struggle behind a mask of confidence. They seem calm on the outside, but inside they're criticizing themselves constantly. They never feel good enough, even when others admire them.
That sounds lonely.
It is very lonely because when you're wearing a mask, people aren't really seeing you. They're seeing the performance, and compliments don't feel real because you think if they knew the real me, they wouldn't say that.
I relate to this so much.
Here's the thing, James. The mask might protect you from judgment, but it also prevents real connection. When we hide our imperfections, we hide our humanity, and our humanity is what makes us lovable.
So showing our flaws actually helps us connect with people?
Yes, think about it. When someone admits they're struggling, when they say, I don't know, or I made a mistake, how do you feel about them?
I feel closer to them, like relieved, like, oh good, they're human too.
Exactly. Imperfection creates connection. Perfection creates distance.
But what if people judge me for my mistakes?
Some might, but those people were never really your people anyway. The ones who matter will appreciate your honesty. They'll feel safe being imperfect around you too.
So by taking off my mask, I give others permission to take off theirs?
Beautiful way to say it, James. We free each other by being real.
So, why does no one teach us this in school?
I ask myself that question often.
So, Mika, this conversation is really changing how I think, but I'm wondering, what do we actually do when we make a mistake? Like in the moment, when I feel that horrible shame and embarrassment.
Great question. And this is where we introduce the 3-second reset.
The 3-second reset?
Sure. When you make a mistake and you feel that wave of shame, I want you to do 3 things in 3 seconds.
Only 3 seconds?
Yes, fast, before your brain spirals into a negative story. Ready?
Ready.
Second one, breathe. Just one deep breath. In and out.
Okay, breathe. One breath.
Second two, name it. Say to yourself silently, this is a mistake. Just a mistake, not a catastrophe.
Name it. This is just a mistake.
Second three, continue. Keep going. Keep talking. Keep trying. Don't stop and analyze. Don't apologize 10 times. Just move forward.
Breathe, name it, continue.
Exactly. Most of the pain from mistakes comes not from the mistake itself, but from what we do after. The replaying, the criticizing, the spiraling. The 3-second reset interrupts that pattern.
So instead of spending 3 hours feeling terrible, I spend 3 seconds acknowledging it and moving on.
That's the goal. It takes practice, but it gets easier.
I really want to try this.
And in our self-compassion journal, there's a whole section dedicated to practicing the 3-second reset. You can record moments when you used it and notice how it changes your experience over time.
Mika, I have one more question before we finish, and it's a big one.
Let's hear it.
If I accept that I'm imperfect, if I stop trying to be perfect, who am I? Like, perfectionism has been part of my identity for so long. What's left when I let it go?
James, that might be the most important question of all.
It scares me a little.
It's natural to feel scared. When we release something that's defined us for years, there's an empty space. But that space isn't truly empty. It's full of possibility.
What do you mean?
When perfectionism takes up all your energy, there's no room for other things. But when you release it, you make space for curiosity, for playfulness, for joy, for rest, for real connection with others.
So I'm not losing something, I'm making room for more.
Exactly. Think of perfectionism like a heavy backpack you've been carrying for years. It's been so long that you forgot it was there. But when you finally put it down, suddenly you can run, you can dance, you can breathe deeply.
I think I'm ready to put the backpack down.
You don't have to do it all at once. You can set it down slowly, one small act of self-compassion at a time.
One small act at a time.
And here's something beautiful. Every time you forgive yourself for a mistake, you become better at forgiving others too. Self-compassion creates more compassion everywhere.
So by being kinder to myself, I become kinder to the whole world.
That's exactly right. Healing yourself is never selfish. It's generous. James, we've explored so much today. Let me bring our conversation together.
Yes, please. I need to remember all of this.
Slowly. No one is perfect. Not you, not me, not anyone. The perfection paradox shows us that we know this logically, but we struggle emotionally. We demand the impossible from ourselves. Pursuing excellence helps us grow. Demanding perfection keeps us afraid.
And the spotlight effect isn't real. People aren't watching and judging us as much as we think.
Exactly. And remember the worthiness myth. Your value doesn't depend on being perfect. You were born worthy. You are worthy right now.
And the perfectionism mask, it protects us but also disconnects us. Real connection comes from showing our real selves, imperfections and all.
And when mistakes happen, and they will always happen, use the 3-second reset. Breathe. Name it. Continue.
Taking a deep breath. You know, Mika, I came into this episode feeling ashamed of being imperfect, but now I'm starting to feel almost grateful.
Grateful?
Yes, because my imperfections make me human. They make me relatable. They make me real. And that's actually more valuable than being some perfect robot that no one can connect with.
James, that's a beautiful realization.
I think I've been trying to become someone I could never be and missing out on becoming who I actually am.
Who you actually are is enough, more than enough.
Softly, I'm going to try to remember that.
Now, let's give our listeners something practical to take with them.
Yes, the challenge.
This week, we want you to try the imperfection challenge. Every day, do one thing imperfectly on purpose.
On purpose, like intentionally mess up?
Not exactly mess up, but do something without worrying about it being perfect. Send a message without checking it 5 times. Post a photo without a filter. Speak English without rehearsing every word first. Let it be imperfect. Let it be real.
And notice how it feels.
Exactly. Notice if the world ends. Gentle laughter. Spoiler, it won't.
And if you want support, download our self-compassion journal from the website. It has prompts for the imperfection challenge, the 3-second reset practice, and reflections on the worthiness myth.
We'd love to hear about your experiences. Leave us a comment. Share this episode with someone who might need it. We're all learning this together.
We really are.
Slowly. Remember, no one's perfect. And that's not a problem to fix. It's a truth to embrace. Your imperfections don't make you less valuable. They make you human. And being human is beautiful.
No one's perfect, and that's okay.
That's more than okay. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Mika. This was exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank you, James. And thank you to everyone listening. Take care of yourselves this week. Be gentle with yourselves. And remember, you're doing better than you think.
Much better than you think, even on your imperfect days, especially on your imperfect days.
See you next week, friends.
Bye, everyone. Go make some beautiful mistakes.
Goodbye.